Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of FNL Reload, and I want to talk about Christmas today and the fact that we're going to be around friends and families coming up that we haven't seen in a long time. And today's topic is something that we probably have all struggled with from time to time, and it can be more evident or prevalent around our family and friends we haven't seen in a while, and that topic would be gossip. So sometimes we get caught in, conversations and things, and before we know it, we're not even aware of it, and we're just talking about somebody or allowing ourselves to be around people that are talking about somebody. Sometimes the conversation can turn on a dime, and we're hearing garbage about people that we don't even want to hear about people. So, I know I've done that. I've allowed a conversation to turn, or I've said things that I shouldn't have said. I've let an occasional frustration slip or whatever. And I don't have a malicious heart. Like, I have no intention to ever hurt anybody, but I know I've accidentally hurt people. So I always endeavor to be aware of what's coming out of my mouth and be slow to speak. And I'm really encouraging you this holiday season to do the same, in addition to being careful what we allow ourselves to listen to. Gossip is really dangerous. No matter what, we shouldn't allow ourselves to be around it. So even if we think we're so mature and we can handle it, how often have you heard something negative about somebody else that has caused you to struggle with how you feel about that person, or caused you to question them in some way? I know I have. It maybe makes me like second guess people or whatnot, and I'm like, there's things that we don't need to hear about. So it's imperative that we recognize gossip when it's happening, and we do whatever it takes to remove it from our lives. If you watched last week's FNL Reload about bullying, I said we talked about how that's basically mocking people, and people are made in God's image. Well, if we're gossiping and we're allowing to be ourselves to be around that, we're basically allowing ourselves to talk about somebody God created. And so we just can't allow it. Is anybody perfect? Nope. Am I perfect? No. Are you? No, you're not either. So we don't know anybody's story. We don't know what's going on in their life. We don't know why they may do certain things at certain times. So should we talk to them about behavior that's inappropriate or wrong? Yes, we should talk to them or their leader, but we don't need to talk about them. Okay, talking to them is biblical. That's in Matthew 18. But talking about them is not okay. So if you're doing that, if you're talking about people, you're a gossip. There's no way to escape it. Sorry to break the bad news to you, but that's just the way it is. So no one benefits from hearing negative information about other people. Nobody benefits from that. So shut your mouth and stop the conversation if you're allowing it to go on around you. Anytime it turns negative, and if you can't stop the conversation for whatever reason, you can't get a word in edgewise, just walk away. You don't even have to say anything, just walk away. Another thing, sometimes gossip can be really easy to recognize, when something big, it's like we can easily distance ourselves from that. But what about those less kind of sensational times when, people are talking about somebody else's work ethic, or maybe their house is dirty, or they're always late, or whatever it happens to be? Do we distance ourselves from those words? Do we distance those words from our mouth, or do we allow them to come out of our mouth? Because, we've all been irritated before. It's true, but we don't need to talk about people, and we don't need to be around people who talk about people. So here's another clue. If somebody's sharing confidential information with you about somebody else, don't let them be your confidant, because they're going to share your confidential information with other people. The Bible says in Proverbs 20:19, a blabbermouth will reveal your secrets, so stay away from people who can't shut their mouths. Don't be a blabbermouth, and don't share information with a blabbermouth. Don't be a gossip. In 1 Peter 4:8, it says, above all, constantly echo God's intense love for one another. For love will be a canopy over a multitude of sins. Constantly echo God's love. So when we're gossiping, we're not echoing God's love. Gossip creates disunity. Gossip creates hard feelings. It's just something we need to stay away from. So guard your mouth, guard your ears this Christmas season and every season, but let's just be particularly aware of it right now. And keep yourself from listening to or participating in gossip. And lastly, one other thing, we all like to pray for people because it's important and prayer works. So here's the deal. We don't have to share everybody's little dirty, gritty information with people. God already knows all the details, so all you need to say is, hey, there's an issue going on. I just want you to pray for this person. We don't need to be involved in any kind of gossip. We need to show love, honor. We need to correct in mercy. We need to never forget the greatest weapon against God's power is disunity. So we need to not allow it. And when we're gossiping, we're creating disunity. If the world is to know us by our love and we are to be different than the world, we should shut our mouths, lift each other up in unity, and unity unleashes God's power. So that's what I have for you today. Don't forget to find us on social media at Friday Night Light on Facebook and YouTube, or The Friday Light on Instagram. And our webpage is FridayNightLight.us. If you'd like to support this ministry, you can go there to do that. We look forward to next week's FNL Reload, and we'll talk to you soon.